Willis from here in Chicago, Illinois, with my trusty co-host,
Mick Cox, all the way from Parkersburg, West Virginia. And have we got a show for you? We've got the guys from Skullcrack.
What does your kid call him?
What's that? What
does your son call Skullcrack?
He calls him Crack Skull. But we got the guys from Skullcrack with us, and they did our brand new theme song for the show. Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, the song you just heard.
Yeah,
they did that song. We also have Coffee Review with Ryan Evans, he's the drummer. Used to be the drummer of F.B.S. and this awesome band called Festal Shout.
Oh yeah,
that we've played with a couple times. We played with them at Audio Feed and then some other festival.
Take Hold.
Take Hold, thank you.
Yeah.
But he's here to chat about his favorite coffee.
Sweet.
He actually sent it to me.
Oh,
it's
nice.
medium. It's medium. So
yeah.
I just got it yesterday and I had some this morning and it's really good. So I'm gonna put my 2 cents in there too.
Cool. We also got, of course, we've got album reviews. We're doing 5 awesome ones. Yeah, not 5. Sorry, we're not doing 5.
I forgot about one.
No. We're doing 4 great ones this time around. So stick around for that.
We got the Almighty ZAO.
Oh yeah, we are doing. That's right. We are doing that album, which is a killer album.
We're reviewing that album.
Yep.
Like Mick said, stick around because you don't want to miss this episode of Coffee and Hardcore coming at you right now. You guys ready for this?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I was like kind of worried, but I guess we'll do it. We'll do it live, right?
Yeah.
We're live.
Well, you sound like
Skullcrack
Minor.
What's that?
You sounded like the guy from 2 Minute Minor when you said that.
That dude's a dick.
We're live.
We're live. Kick it in. All right, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Hardcore Podcast, Season 2, Episode 6, titled Skullcracked on Fresh Pots. Fresh Pots!
Fresh Pots!
We have Nate, who plays bass, and Eddie, who plays guitar with us from the face-melting band Skullcrack. What's up, y'all?
What's up? How's it going?
Woo! Going good. I have so many questions. I hope we can get to them all. Well, let's jump into this. I'm going to start with a short, kind of irritating story, but so let's get into the artwork. So your artwork got me hooked originally. It's kind of like when I was a kid on the school bus listening to my uncle's Iron Maiden tapes back in the late 80s, early 90s. The artwork just hooked me. I remember seeing the artwork to Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and freaking out at how awesome it was. I had that exact same feeling when I saw the Skullcrack artwork for the first time, and it just hooked me in. Hooked me.
It was like a nostalgic feeling, like, oh.
It was.
I remember this feeling. I have to check this band out.
For sure, because it's weird, because it's like 80s kind of homage, but it's still kind of newer looking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah? So y'all are from California, right?
Yes. West
Okay.
Coast.
What's that?
West Coast.
West Coast.
Do you guys get Midwest?
Midwest. But give me the background on this artwork, if you can. I need to know. I need to know.
This guy Thomas Fernandez, he's an old buddy of mine and Jeff's. Jeff the singer. We've known him since we were growing up and playing in punk bands in high school and stuff. And along the way, he's always done like artwork and like drawing shit and skateboarding, this and that. And he started doing tattoos. He has his own sort of thing called Live Rad Studios. So that's kind of his, I guess it would be called a moniker. His online or his name for stuff. Thomas Fernandez, Live Rad Studios. And we hit him up. We remember when we started the band, we're like, oh, our friend Thomas does artwork. And he's been doing a lot of stuff. He done a lot of Santa Cruz stuff, and his style was just so cool. So we hit him up, and we're like, I mean, he's, obviously we paid him, but he was excited. He's like, yeah, send me the music and the lyrics, and I'll just start sketching some ideas and shooting stuff back and forth. And then it started with Cracky, the little skull guy, and he did such a great job. We're like, fuck yeah, like we want it to be consistent, and it's kind of been like a theme. Every record has that guy on each record, and just more gnarly each time around.
Yeah.
Well, so Cut It Down, was that the first thing that he drew for you guys?
Yeah, Cut It Down. And yeah, that was it. And then what was it?
Like, how did that come to be? Were you like, hey, we're coming out with this album called Cut It Down, like, draw something?
Yeah, well, no, Jeff, he's done, because he usually is the one in contact with Thomas. He just sends him all the songs and the lyrics, and then said, "This is our first record. Like, go ahead, like, kind of draw what you're hearing." And that's what he did. Like, fucking a beer opening, because that's the first song. Beer opening, and then a knife through the back of the skull into the eyeball.
Yeah, I think actually Jeff will have Jeff's a really good artist too, so he'll sketch something out, like an idea, like kind of something like a knife in his head or something like that, and then Thomas will be like, okay, and then like make it look really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with like Thomas is cool because he'll take the lyrics of the songs and like kind of like get inspired and be like, all right, this skeleton guy needs a knife through his head while he's chugging a beer. And we're like, yeah,
it's so good. Well, let's talk about Full Blast. That artwork is amazing.
Same guy.
Well, yeah, I know. But like, so what lyrics from Full Blast did he take to come up with that artwork?
It's kind of funny because we used to practice. Well, we do practice in Huntington, but at one point we were practicing at a place that Eddie was teaching at, and we were like, I mean, it was our second record, and we'd only been playing for a couple years, a year and a half ish, and we were starting to write that new record. And Austin is just a blast beat maniac. So he just like right when he sits down like to warm up, he's just
while I'm tuning.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He's just blasting all
drummers.
And one of us said like, dude, Full Blast, and then we're like, hell yeah, Full Blast. The name of the next record. So like that one was kind of just like we should call it Full Blast.
Yeah, I think that was like a working title, or like, oh yeah, that's like kind of funny, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Until we come up with something, and then
it ended up, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, oh, what if you had like these huge speakers, like the RCA guy, sitting in the or whatever, and like what if it was him, but like going like this and just getting like blasted, and then that's what came of it for Thomas. But we did the same thing, sent him everything, and I think that's probably, from what I know, one of the first songs Jeff had like a title to before he wrote it, because he usually thinks of a concept first and then writes a song. From what I know. But yeah, I think he just Full Blast is already just Skullcrack, like, as a whole, so like that's just how we do shit. So it worked
awesome.
Perfect.
And I feel like the artwork really captured that album. Just a guy just getting sonically
so good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts too is like his forearm. You see like his veins like starting to fold outside of his arm.
Yeah.
It's very realistic.
He's like liquefying almost.
Yeah.
But the Turn to Dust artwork is so rad, especially when you guys printed it on those neon shirts.
Oh,
it just fit it so well. So it seems like each time this dude, it's the same guy, I'm guessing, right, that did this one too. The artwork just keeps stepping up and stepping up. Because this one is, and I love how it's got like that old school feel, because it's very black and white feeling, but there's also like one solid color, if that makes sense, you know. I know the listener can't see it, but so this one's like more green.
Yeah,
the Turn to Dust.
We were thinking about that. I think before we did that, I remember Jeff saying like, "Hey guys, what's gonna be, you know, I don't know if we ever intended for like a color scheme for each one, but I think Cut It Down was like red, Full Blast was like the yellow, and then Turn to Dust is green. So we're like, I think Jeff was just like, well, what color should we do, you know, next or this one?
Yeah, it kind of just came about.
Yeah, just kind of it kind of happened, but then we're like, oh shit, now we're like getting into that that sort of thing where we're like, okay, we have to like come up with a different color now.
But it's cool because you match the records to it, you know.
Yeah. And
that looks really cool. Like when I took out the Full Blast one and it was yellow, it's like this is rad.
Yeah, and then t-shirt wise, it makes sense, you know, because like, oh, I'm wearing the record. It's like the color of the record, you know what I mean?
I thought that was really cool.
I ordered a bunch of stuff from Indecision Records, and they sent me a bunch of posters, and one of the posters was Turn to Dust.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna hang this stuff up. Like, yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna hang this up on the wall. And then my wife was like, you think that's gonna scare the kids? I was like, I don't know. Let's find out. So I hung it up. And so my oldest son like loves it. He points to it all the time. He's like, Dad.
Oh,
that dude. And so today, like I had to leave the game early, my kid's soccer game early. And so I told my son, I'm like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta do the podcast. He goes, are you going to talk to the Crack Skull guys? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk to them. He goes, tell him I said hi. I was like, all right. So a 6-year-old, man, you've won him over. He loves it.
That's
and
awesome.
So
hi too. Call him right now.
Call him right now. I think he's stuffing his face with ice cream at Nana's, but
get him on speaker, Full Blast.
Yeah, Full Blast. But I ordered the Full Blast 7-inch for my wife for Mother's Day. So yeah,
actually because of the podcast, right?
Because of the podcast, yeah. Because we started, yeah. So
I was like, holy crap, it's only $5.50. You got to buy it. So I went to my link.
But
bargain bin.
Yeah.
She just sent me a text and said, "Tell them that my favorite song is Adios Motherfucker." So,
Hell yeah, thanks.
So there you go.
Yeah. All those Maiden records too. Like my dad had all like the old Maiden CDs and Metallica, Anthrax, and like that kind of stuff. And I grew up like looking at the CDs, and it's so funny because you mentioned Seventh Son, and like that was a record that I that was actually one of the last like Maiden records I got into growing up. But seeing that, I'd always grown up seeing it, and I never realized that Eddie was holding that like fetus like sack, you know, until I saw them live, and they did like a Seventh Son kind of tour thing. I think it was like 2010 or something, and maybe 2012 or whatever. But they were doing like a lot of songs from Seventh Son, and they had a big Eddie from the Seventh Son album cover, and they had the fetus in there, and it was moving and like trying to get out. It was amazing.
Oh, that is cool.
It was so cool. But yeah,
because
Nick, when you said like, oh, you think that's gonna scare the kids? I was scared of Ozzy Osbourne, Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. Seeing Ozzy on the floor with the cross, I was like, oh my god, I'm scared.
Yes. Don't look at it.
So it worked. It was supposed to do. That's pretty cool.
So like you guys said, you guys are from California. I gotta say, everyone in the band just seems to fit perfectly in the band. You guys make a complete unit. Like, did that take work, or were you guys friends? Like, how did that come together?
We really lucked out. Jeff and I have been in band. Jeff the singer, we've been in band since high school. We've kind of always been in a band, and then we had Cut It Down music kind of written, and Jeff was actually playing drums originally, and we're like, all right, well, we need to find a bass player and a singer, and singers are so hard to come by. So Jeff's basically just like, all right, well, I'll sing and you find a drummer. I'm like, okay, like great, that's not easy, right? So actually,
yeah, singers and drummers are good ones are hard to find.
Yeah, a good reliable one, right? And I was randomly at a party, and actually I was wearing this band Hammerfist. I just happened to be wearing this shirt or like a different Hammerfist shirt, and this guy ran into me. He's like, "Oh, that I filled in for that band on a tour." I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" And my name's Austin. So it's Austin, our drummer now, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you play in other bands, blah blah blah. We're shooting the shit, and you know, you're always like, oh, we should jam sometime." You know, how often does that ever work out? You know, like, oh, let's jam.
Yeah.
And you know, in the back of my mind, I remember like, oh, I talked to this guy at this party. I'll shoot him a text. Hey, like, maybe he's down to like try and learn these songs. I sent him the tracks, and he's like, dude, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, we're kind of going for like a Municipal Waste thing, kind of hardcore in between sort of stuff. And he's like, hell yeah. And he showed up. Didn't know any of the songs. And I was like, fuck. Like,
but you sent him all the songs?
I sent him all the the demos that we had, and he's like, yeah, I'll learn these. He shows up, he's like, how does this one go? And we kind of went through it, and he starts kind of doing like his own thing, like throwing in blast beats like over hardcore parts. I'm like, that's fucking sick. That's really cool. All right, he's really good, you know? So we're like, all right, cool, you got the gig. And then Nate, I was in another band, Why We Kill, right? It was like this like thrash metal, it was like Pantera mixed with Slayer type band. And he was like coming to all the shows, and I don't know how old, Nate was a little younger at the time.
Like 20.
Nate was like 20, and he comes up to me, he's like, hey dude, can I help you with your amp? You guys are so good. I'm like, yeah, kid, come here. And then we're just like shooting the shit. He's like in another band at the time. And then I'm like, oh, wait, you play guitar, right? And he's like, yeah. Well, would you be down to play bass in like this band I have going? And he's like, yes, let's do it. And I sent him the songs. Nate shows up, knows the songs, shows up with a 30 rack of Budweiser. And I look over at Jeff, I'm like, this is the guy. This is the guy. And then fast forward, like we all just got along. We clicked. We all like knew where we wanted to go with the band. There was never like, oh, we want to sound like this. Like we're like, yeah, let's do that, and just do it full fucking blast, like all the way.
Full blast.
It's crazy too, like how perfect we all like work together. Like, cause like Austin, you know, he's got music with Eddie, and you know, Jeff has got merch, and you know,
oh yeah, that stuff's important for sure.
Yeah, and
I don't want to do
like
it.
Shows, networking or whatever it is, you know, and we all just like super.
It's
super
very
good.
It's very much a team effort, you know. I've been in another band that worked like that, like a machine. Like everyone had their kind of their own duty, not like
you said duty.
Yeah, not like.
Come on, you know what?
Just teasing you.
I know, and that band worked well and we were able to tour because everyone had their own little niche in the band, and that's how this band works. Like we're able. Yeah,
you play in your strengths.
Yeah, exactly, and
that's a good thing.
It's very outgoing and gives people a ton of pens.
I literally threw a pen out the window on the way here. I like somebody had like
pen.
Somebody had a Black Sabbath sticker on the back of their car, and I pulled up next to them, and I'm like, "Hey, roll in," and they rolled down the window. I'm like, "Hey, Sabbath rules." They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Here's my band, Skullcrack," and then it's on this pen. So then they're like, "Okay," and I threw it in their car and drove away.
There was also one time, if I can segue for a second, we were on tour. Yeah. And I don't know, we pulled up next to a van, and Nate, I have a video of it.
We're on the freeway.
We're on the freeway, 70 miles an hour. Nate's showing them the record while he's driving, turn to dust, and they're like, hey, do you want this?
And they like roll down the window.
And they're like, yeah, and then he sticks it out, the wind catches
to the ground.
Pulls it down.
I was like, whoa. They were reaching out there too.
It was like it's close. And they were we all started laughing like, fuck, what are you gonna do?
So did the wind just like throw it on the ground?
Yeah, just shot it to the
it was trying to do this, and then it just
we were like, okay, so we gotta make it as flat as possible, so it like the wind cuts it, and then it just like started shaking and just
So there's a record
Oh,
up
man.
for grabs on some highway like in
Yeah,
the Bay
Just have
Area.
to,
So only
you just have to glue it together.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how outgoing he is.
No, that's a great story. That gave me great imagery.
Literally going out the window. But yeah, like you said, it's all working kind of well-oiled machine, I guess.
Oh, it's well oiled.
It's well-oiled, and it is.
Yeah.
Mick, when you were in ZAO, did you guys do that? Like, did everyone take turns doing something, or was there one guy that was in charge of everything?
Man, you're really gonna make me say this, aren't you? No, like,
I don't know.
it was back when I was in ZAO, it was kind of like a dictatorship, and I won't let in on who was the dictator. So
It was you. No.
it wasn't me. It wasn't
Okay, so
Embarrassed. He's like, I don't want to say.
Yeah.
But
okay, well, moving on. So, Eddie, I saw Fireburn play.
oh yeah, in Chicago.
Yes, with GBH actually,
Yeah, that was a
with-
cool show.
with Nate's T-shirt.
Thank you.
He's wearing a GBA T-shirt, by the way, for the listeners.
I thought he was telling me T-shirt. I was like, oh, he's talking about Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how'd you get that gig?
Cool
Me?
story. Kind of from Nate. I was
Really?
actually thinking about that today. Okay, so Fireburn is Todd Jones, Israel Joseph, Todd Youth, Nick Townsend. So the drummer, I've known him. Jeff and I have known him since we were like 15.
Wait, that's the drummer that was on tour.
Yeah.
No, not.
Oh,
on tour.
he wasn't on that tour actually.
Yeah, because that was some straight edge kid, right? From some straight edge band.
Naya from Dare. He was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, Nick had
Yeah,
left, but anyways, I've known Nick forever, and he was the OG drummer, and Nate was kind of getting good friends with Todd Jones. Gave him a Skullcrack record. Todd Jones was like, "Hell yeah, Skullcrack." He was about it, and they were texting buddies for a good while.
We were supposed to have dinner tonight, but it didn't work out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was gonna leave after this, but
So
You can have dinner on the podcast.
it's all
Call him up.
it's all coming full circle.
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
So, no worries. So I guess Todd's filling Nate in on like, hey, like I have this band, like Skullcrack should play one of our record release shows. So they did 3 of them, and then we played. And
what band was that with?
Skullcrack was playing with Fireburn.
Oh, with Fireburn. Okay.
And Let Rage. Yeah, we'll play at Program in Fullerton, and then fast forward. Todd
Was that at the record shop?
Yeah, the record shop in Fullerton.
Yeah, I watched that show. That was cool.
So yeah, that was the first time seeing them. Amazing. Fast forward, I was filling in for another band, and I ran into Todd Youth. He's like, "Hey, dude, let me get your number. Like, I want to like shoot the shit
Wow.
and whatnot." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then,
Were you starstruck at all or no?
a little bit. I was like, "Oh, cool." Like,
Yeah.
what he said actually was like, "Hey, like, I want to hit you up about guitar lessons." I'm like, "Really?" Like,
What? Todd Youth asking you for guitar
yeah,
lessons?
Like, okay, like that's weird. Maybe he's just being nice, whatever.
It's Todd Youth.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you need from me, that you don't already know? So, little time goes by, and then Nick hits me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, Todd Jones is leaving the band. Do you want to play in Fireburn?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I can do it."
Oh, so you were actually going to be the new member?
Yeah. So,
Oh, I thought you were just a touring guy.
no,
you even
no.
wrote songs and everything.
Yeah, I wrote songs with them. So yeah, Todd Jones he was just busy, dude. He was busy. He couldn't do they were getting offers left and right.
Yeah, they're a great band.
Yeah, so Todd was like, this is my side project. I don't want to commit that much time. He had nails, so
Yeah.
It made sense. They kind of parted ways, like, okay, so they basically asked me like, hey, do you want to do this? Are you down? I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be awesome. So that's kind of how I got it, like really because Nick knew me, and he knew that I could hang.
That you had the chops, yeah.
I had the chops to do it, and I was down, and
I posted that killer solo that you did on the Coffee and Hardcore page.
Oh, did you? That was my first time recording with them. It was fucking nerve-wracking.
I thought it was awesome.
I was like doing it. I'm like, oh shit, Todd's got his phone out too. Like, looking at me, I'm like, all right, shit.
That was good, man. I loved it.
That was like a new song. I don't think we released it, but I think we played it live. But that Chicago show was super rad. That was like one of the cooler shows on that tour. I remember.
I came there to see Fireburn, to be honest.
That's cool. I mean, it was.
I only stuck around for like 4 GBH songs.
You were there for like 5 minutes.
What's that?
You were there for like 5 minutes. For 4 songs.
Well, yeah, like my buddy Mike, who I went with, really likes GBH. I think they're okay, but I bought a ticket to see Fireburn.
That's cool.
That's why I went.
Show. I mean, those guys in GBH are super cool. I mean, like.
Yeah.
So nice, like, hey, come hang out with us. Like they're just like super friendly to everybody. Well, yeah,
they're super old too, aren't they?
Super old, dude.
Super old.
But dude, they could out party us. It was crazy. I mean, I was like the only one in Fireburn at the time that, because Todd, none of those guys drank.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So Todd didn't drink. They smoked weed, you know.
Okay. Israel didn't drink.
Doesn't drink. He just smoked a ton of weed. So I was the one just like, you know, backstage. They're like, "All right, kid, those beers are for you." I'm like,
and you're like, "Jobless."
Jobless. You're like, "Oh no, I have to do the killer solos."
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it was good.
Dude, that was super sad. So you just did one tour with them then?
We did a few runs. So like the first
you did?
Run, yeah, the first run I did with them was with American Nightmare and Torso.
Oh yeah.
Oh, American Nightmare. That's what's his name from old Slapshot's guitar player, right? And
because all those guys are from
Agnostic Front guy.
Come
on, what's his name? He's like the greatest guitar player right now. Craig Silverman.
He's in American Nightmare?
I think he is, isn't he?
He's not anymore. It's like a bunch of kind of younger dudes. I could be
maybe
wrong.
I'm thinking of a different
band.
Whoops.
But yeah, that was like the first run I did with them. That was cool. It was like 4 shows or something like that. And then I did something else with them. I think I did the GBH. And then just like a bunch of local shows with them. And then we were in the midst of writing stuff too. And then, you know.
Yeah. So I talked to Israel a little bit. You guys have a full length that's not released.
Yeah. Well.
Is that true?
It's a live show, actually. So there's a couple new songs on it. And it's actually Nick the drummer, we all kind of got back in contact, and so we didn't know that we did a run with Kill Your Idols. That's where this full length comes from. So we did a East Coast run with Kill Your Idols and
United Blood Fest,
Berthold City, and then we played at Brooklyn Bazaar in the Lower East Side, and I had no idea, but the sound guy was like, "Hey, I'm gonna mic all your guys." I guess he told Nick, but hey, I'm gonna mic everything. I'm gonna get you guys like a live recording. And I mean, I'm glad I didn't know, because I probably would have been like psyched out.
Yeah.
So, you know, after Todd passed, Nick was like, "Hey, I have this recording from New York, and it's really good." I was like, "All right, well, let's check it out." And it's like us live. It sounds amazing. So we're in the process of actually getting it mixed, and hopefully releasing it probably by ourselves. I don't know if we're gonna hit up a label to like help us out with it or not, but it's what's cool about it is it's Todd Youth's last New York performance.
Oh wow!
Which to me, I'm like, that's badass. Like his family was there.
Yeah, that has to come out.
Yeah, his whole like Lower East Side crew was there, like, you know, supporting, and so, and it sounds amazing. So it's like we have to like get that.
How many songs is it? You know?
I think it was just like our set list is probably like 10 or 11 songs. There's at least 1 or 2 new songs on there that were never like recorded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
This was the band I was thinking of, the American War Machine. Sorry.
Oh, War. Oh yeah.
Wow, you're way off.
I know.
My old brain can't keep up.
I was like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, sure, Wiley.
But yeah, hopefully that gets it. We just have to get it mixed and then send it out. We have it.
So you weren't on that EP or that 7-inch, right?
I wasn't on any of the recordings.
So that would be cool then if that came out, because you'd be on that.
That's where I'm like, I really want this to go out. Because
so I know that like he was also in Blood Clot with JJ, and they decided to go on, right, without him.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the thing that they started together. Well, sort of. I know Blood Clot was around, in the 80s or whatever, but is Firebird going to continue at all, or is it kind of, are you guys letting it rest?
There's been, I've been talking to Nick about it, the original drummer, and I haven't talked to Israel in a while, but kind of through Instagram, like I like kind of shared like his new music. He's doing like a solo thing. And
yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
he did everything on it, right?
Yeah, he did the drums, like guitar. I think just like sample drums or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've been talking. Like I had some new songs that I'd sent him, and we're all kind of shooting the shit. Like, hey, like you interested in like recording some new stuff and just kind of for fun and just maybe see what happens. And we're all like, yeah. It's just been kind of hard to all get us in the room together. And then, but we're definitely been entertaining the idea of playing again. Not going crazy, but like doing a few shows here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
as Fireburn.
As Fireburn, and the hard thing is just finding the right bass player to like fill Todd's shoes. There's plenty of like people that are good enough to do it, but it's like kind of has to be like the right person. That makes sense.
He played some funky bass too.
Yeah, he did. He kind of he played it. He played it like a guitar, which was great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like, I remember when he asked me to play, I was like, he's like, are you down to play guitar? I'm like, don't you play guitar? He's like, oh, dude, I've been having so much fun doing the bass stuff. I was like, really? Like I've never heard.
There's 2 less strings, right?
Yeah.
How's that more fun?
And yeah, he's like, I found my voice on the bass for this band, and
I think he was perfect for that band.
Yeah,
on bass.
and like, yeah, so the way he plays, his tone, whatnot. It's just a matter of finding the right person. It's not even like, oh, we gotta find like another like super group person. It's just like someone that have some sort of relation to Todd in a positive way,
Sure.
But yeah, definitely probably gonna do something in the near future when stuff stops being so crazy.
That's cool. Well, bringing it back to Skullcrack here, what bands do you two? What bands were you guys inspired by? Like, not that question.
For sure, Slayer.
Fucking Slayer.
Yeah.
Would you say in general or for the band? For like.
No, like, yeah, okay. So, what bands inspired you growing up, and then what bands kind of inspired Skullcrack?
Well, for me, since Nate's taking forever, a lot of like the old school like punk bands, like I was really into street punk. When I got into punk rock, I got into like The Virus, Unseen, and stuff like that. The Partisans, and then I discovered a buddy of mine, the same kid that had like a mohawk. He's like, "Oh, check this band out, Minor Threat," and I'm like, "Oh, cool!" Like, "Oh, Minor Threat, Black Flag," kind of the Catalyst bands that everyone get, maybe entry level bands everyone gets into, and then it got into Discharge. I think Discharge for me, that's what it was for me, because I was like
that whole DB kind of sound.
Yeah, that like, oh, you can do like whammy bar stuff in punk rock and like head and stuff, because I was a guitar player at the time, and punk rock, they didn't have the best guitar solos, and I didn't think it was like allowed. I think
right.
So I was like, Discharge, they're like oh, you can do that, cool, and then that segued into Slayer, Exodus, and more technical stuff like that, and then that same kid showed me like Municipal Waste, like when I was in high school. I'm like, dude, this is the shit. It's like punk and hardcore, like all mixed
like crossover kind of.
The crossover, and that kind of got me going for sure. And in terms of the shit I play now, at least.
Did you ever get into Wolf Brigade at all?
I didn't until recently.
They're so good.
Until recently, because they did some stuff recently, didn't they?
They played it.
Yeah, they put out a new record a few years ago.
Yeah, because Ron was like way into them, right?
Yeah, Ron books them.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I remember like seeing all this hype. I'm like, oh, I never like listened to this band, and then I checked it. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, they're super good.
Like sleeping on this forever.
Yeah.
But what about you, Nate?
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, I started. The first like heavy music I listened to was like probably in order, like Metallica, Kill 'Em All, Anthrax, Among the Living, and then Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Those are like my first 3 like heavy records.
Those are heavy hitters.
Yeah, for sure. Because those are all my dad's CD collection, so that's what I listen to mostly. And then
all right, kill one, marry one. Go.
Right. No, I can't. I can't.
I don't want to say.
Yeah. So yeah, I started listening to those, and then my dad bought me tickets, and me and my brother tickets for Christmas to see Megadeth and Exodus and Testament at Hollywood Palladium, and Megadeth was playing all of Rest in Peace.
Oh, you told me about that.
So like that was my first like smaller metal show because it was a smaller venue. My first metal show was Maiden in 2008.
Oh, you've seen Iron Maiden?
Oh, I've seen them like 6 or 7 times, I think.
I want to see Iron Maiden.
I love them. I love Maiden.
It's just I can't stand huge crowds.
I know.
And they're
That's
like, yeah, they're one of those bands where the crowd is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's all they do. Yeah, they'll never play like a coffee shop. So.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
A Toys R Us.
I got into metal first and then punk. I think it's funny because my uncle, when I first started collecting records, my uncle gave me a bunch of records that he got from one of his friends that was going to throw them out. And it was all like DRI, Napalm Death, English Dogs, like that Peace War Comp, like so much like good, like Concrete Socks, like good UK and just like thrashy stuff. And at first I was like, this is too fast. Like, I don't like this. And then I heard like Napalm Death, You Suffer. That song just, and that's the whole song. And I'm like, that was like the worst song I've ever heard. and I cannot believe now, like where I'm at now, because it all
grew on you.
Yeah, it all grew on me because I think it was all because Slayer. I heard Rain in Blood. That whole record was like so fast, but it like caught me a different way than all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I heard like SOD and all that stuff was like even faster, and then it all just kind of got faster from there. And then
and now you're in Skullcrack.
Now I'm in Skullcrack.
Yeah. now it's getting
super fast.
But, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's get into the most important thing that Skullcrack's ever done in the history of Skullcrack. Skullcrack made the theme song for Coffee and Hardcore, and seriously, it kicks ass. So this will be the second episode that people are listening to it. The last episode has it on it, which airs Monday because we do a month in advance.
Cool.
But let people know the process. Give them a flavor of the Coffee and Hardcore theme song.
It's definitely coffee flavor.
Arabic beans, aroma.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Arabic beans.
Never decaf.
Never decaf.
Yeah, no. Fresh pots.
So,
Fresh pots.
dude,
Speaking of,
coffee mug.
I got my Descendants mug.
wait, how far ahead in time are you guys? Is it morning now?
2 hours.
What?
I drink coffee all the time.
Oh, they drink. Oh, that now. Okay, coffee
Never
and hardcore.
decaf.
Get it.
Where do you think we live?
Yeah, I don't know. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
My time zones are not all there, I guess.
It's all good.
Anyways, Nate mentioned that you guys were like, hey, they want us to do the song for the podcast. Kind of in the, like right in the midst of like while we're writing stuff.
Yeah.
And, he sent me. I mean, I listened to the original track you had. I'm like, all right, we got to make it faster. I think you caught me on a good day because like I it's funny. I wrote it in my head and then I went to work and then I was like, all right, I gotta lay this down. I just threw it on GarageBand. I like wrote a couple of the riffs and I sent it to our drummer via GarageBand, and then he sent me like I texted him some notes, and then he sent me back a full drum track, and then I re-recorded it and I sent it to the boys. I'm like, what do you guys think of this? And it was just like, fuck yeah, it's so fast. And I almost felt like a little kid giving away like one of his favorite toys because I was like, it's like I really like this song. I really like the riff. It's so short. It's so fast. So and I was like, and even Austin was like, dude, that's like my favorite song right now.
Yeah, that's why we talked about hopefully putting it out. So
yeah, we're still game to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're like, well, like. I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to keep this for the record. So I actually ended up, I was like, all right, well, I just have to make another like fast, just in your face song to like
fresh pots.
Yeah. Okay, so that part, I redid all the stuff. I had the drums, and then I didn't tell them that I just threw that in the beginning, and then I was like, I can't wait for them to just hear that.
The lyrics are amazing, by the way. Did you?
Oh yeah, Jeff's a
yeah.
Yeah.
I had Mick read them last episode.
Yeah, it's killer.
So everyone could hear them.
Laid on thick.
It's so good.
I sent it to a couple people. I was like, check this out. This is a new theme song, and I don't think they were expecting what they got because they had heard the Battle Royale theme song, of course, and they dug it. But when I sent this, the first thing I got was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I sent it to the old singer for ZAO, and he was like, "This sounds amazing in my car right now. Like, where did you?" I was like, "I told you should have listened to Skullcrack like a year ago." And so, like, they're all, yeah, it's insane.
It's so good.
It's definitely in what during our writing, like that was like fuck. Like I listened to it a bunch.
Well, thank you guys for doing it. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was
thank you. Thanks for offering that to us, like the opportunity, and thanks for liking it.
It's so killer.
For sure. But so you kind of talked about, you guys recorded that while you were doing the record. I know on your social media you put out like a set list, and I saw Coffee and Hardcore in there, and it was crossed off like you were checking like different things. So this is going to be like full length then.
Yes.
This new record.
Yes.
Are you allowed to talk about it at all?
Are we doing? Can we talk about the? Can we
Tell us.
Tell us. I mean, I guess. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I just play bass. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So.
Spill the beans.
We recorded a lot of music, and we have.
What's a lot?
Like, I guess we could say like
14.
Okay, that's a lot.
14,
like 16 songs, something like
16, that. Yeah, including that. I will say there's a cover in there.
Oh yeah,
there's a cover in there that just came out randomly.
So good. Do you guys plan on using all of them, or you don't know yet?
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. So.
But there is a new record in the works.
There is a new record.
Yeah, the full length is going to be shorter than the last full length, but longer than the E.Ps. So we kind of just met in the middle. Was kind of the plan with that.
Okay, so you're saying it's going to be shorter than Turn to Dust, which is about 19 minutes ish, like 18-20, I think.
Song wise, it's shorter.
Oh, song.
Got less songs.
Gotcha. You're not talking about the time.
What about in time though? Is it?
I think it's about the same time actually.
Okay.
So these songs might be a little longer, but there's definitely some fast, short ones too.
Because you got 13 songs on Turn to Dust.
Yeah.
Or 13 tracks at least.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our main thing was like, we went in and we've been talking about this every record that we've done. Like, let's just write a ton of songs and go in and be like, okay, let's record them all and then listen and see, all right, this is making it, this is making it, this isn't. And we never did that with any of the previous records. This one we did. You know, we had the time because we weren't touring, we weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's usually hard to do.
Yeah, so Nate was up my ass the entire time during quarantine. So me, I'm just like, I have time, and Nate's like, hey, did you write anything? Hey, I wrote this. Hey, like, and so we're just like, kind of bouncing ideas back. I'm like, fuck, leave me alone. All right, I'll like, okay. So Nate was really kind of the catalyst in getting that many songs to happen, or us even like writing a record, because I'm lazy.
He just sits there and like pets his cat. Doesn't have any hair.
But I feel like this time around it was like Nate wrote a lot of shit, I wrote a lot of shit, and then like we met in the middle, and then we're like, whoa, we have fucking X amount of songs, 16 songs plus songs.
You know, that's a good problem to have. You can release them later too.
So then when it came down to making like, you know, the list, you know, the sequence, we're like, all right, well, is this gonna make it or is this? And so we all kind of had our ideas of which songs would go on the record and which ones wouldn't. And then, but like, we feel confident with like everything we had. So we're like, okay, we can use these for this or these for that.
So do you guys already have that like specified, like we're using these for this and for the full length and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's done. Yeah.
Everything's done.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Mastered. I don't want to give away too much, but because I don't know what Dad has in mind. Indecision Records, Dave. I don't know what. I don't think he really cares. He's just like whatever.
But you guys do plan on doing a full length vinyl record?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Me too. I just wanted to just be out there finally. I think, you know, I was thinking about this too. Like, I think the timing is kind of right because maybe like as soon as it comes or drops, like stuff will be a little bit more back to normal. So it's like kind of coming out at the right time, hopefully.
Yeah. That's starting to happen now, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, okay, cool, stuff's like slowly happening, shows are happening, and we're thinking that like it's gonna be like a right timing, like cool, like we're back, we have a new record, like people are gonna be stoked, hopefully.
Are you guys thinking like summer, late summer, midsummer? You don't know yet. Fall.
Yeah.
It's just because when getting stuff pressed takes so long.
Oh yeah, like
We still need the art too.
oh, same guy.
Same guy, yeah.
Same guy, Maldo.
And
I'm a huge Skullcrack fan, so this is really exciting. By the way.
Yes.
Thomas has actually been really busy. He was doing artwork for like Rob Zombie and shit.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's really cool.
And Guar, yeah. What, really, Guar?
Yeah.
And Guar?
And like PBR too.
What? The
Half
beer?
ribbon, yeah.
He's doing art for PBR, eh?
I'm pretty sure. From what I remember seeing, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas is legit. He does a shit ton of tattoos and like he's been getting commission for a lot of people. So
wow.
Who does the artwork for that that Kill Your Thirst energy drink thing? You know what I'm talking about? It kind of looks like that art.
Liquid Death?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh no, I don't know.
It's almost like Metalocalypse style, kind of. What's that?
That's water. I don't drink water.
Oh yeah. You drink water with hops in it, right?
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, we're so excited. Like the whole band's super excited for the new stuff. So
Yeah. So basically, yeah, we're waiting on artwork. We need to name the LP as well.
The fun parts of behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's funny because like we're always like throwing out ideas. And we're like, oh no, that's cheesy. Like,
But sometimes you can make cheesy work, right?
Sometimes, yeah. I think.
If it's over the top.
yeah, like yelling your own band name in a song.
Skullcrack. All heart, come on, that's the thing.
I stole that from Brace War.
Brace War, damn.
Dude, everyone does it. Like,
Yeah.
Why not? And
Yeah,
that one came out as a joke too. Parker, our friend, our friend Parker was like, because there was like a little break, and our friend Parker's like, "You guys should just yell Skullcrack."
So good.
We started doing it, and it stuck.
It's like those old '80s bands that wear their own band's T-shirts on stage.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why not? Just rock it.
Rocking Out does it. They all wear.
I know, it's ridiculous.
So I'm like,
And
okay,
suicidal, yeah.
and like, yeah, exactly, like the suicidal.
Yeah.
So it works. You just gotta commit, I guess.
I know, it's like we have
You gotta
Skullcrack
not care.
Now we just need like Skullcrack shoelaces. And
Bro, I wore those Skullcrack socks at my wedding.
yeah. You sent me a picture of you lacing up your boots.
Yep.
The Skullcrack socks.
Oh God.
I went for it.
So
That's awesome.
you there.
You were, yeah. You're always there. I wish you guys could have played it.
I would have flown out for. I love weddings, so like, I would've liked to go.
Have you ever played a wedding yet?
No.
No.
I did an acoustic thing.
A dog wedding?
Not like a hardcore wedding, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saying, has Skullcrack ever played a wedding?
No. Oh no. Hopefully.
We'd probably write a wedding theme song too, like the podcast.
And it's got to be faster too.
Yeah.
Keep upping it.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So this is your time in the podcast that you can plug any other bands that you like, any coffee you like, any of your friends' companies, podcasts, or any adventures. You guys got anything?
Too many adventures, so.
Too many adventures to count? I mean, I know that.
Radiation Records in Anaheim, California. If you guys like rare punk records, I'm a huge vinyl collector, so we've got everything. Today I just came from a record deal, so I picked up like the Judge New York Crew 7-inch, the Bad Religion first 7-inch, the First Press Gorilla Biscuits 7-inch, and the
What?
And the Gorilla Biscuits yellow vinyls.
You own this?
No. I just picked them up for the shop.
Oh.
But I do actually have those. Oh, except for,
No. But yes.
And the Gorilla Biscuits, but yeah, we got all that kind of stuff: hardcore, punk, obscure stuff, like super rare, high end, all that. So if you guys are looking for that kind of stuff, that's a place to go. I know Wiley got the Barbies record that our label put out, so
yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty historic record in my mind because it's just
I dig it.
Unreleased Fullerton new wave punk kind of stuff. So
I guess my plug, since we're talking about records, I don't know, Wiley, were you gonna say something about
No, go ahead.
My buddy Sergio from ACXDC, he has a new record store called the Midnight Hour in San Fernando Valley, right? Like LA area. They actually opened up another location, and they have like a lot of punk and hardcore stuff too. So I guess check them out. They have stuff online as well on their Instagram. They're Sergio's a very avid vinyl, just like this guy.
Are you writing that down, Nick, so we can put a link?
Doing it on Post-its, putting it across there so we can do the.
They actually opened up a second location, which is really cool. I'm stoked for him. And I think that's it for me. I mean,
Do you guys drink? Do you guys drink coffee?
Yes, we do drink coffee.
I don't.
What's your favorite coffee?
I don't. Starbucks.
No, I said coffee.
I don't know. I'm not like a connoisseur like you guys.
We're not either. Come on. No, if you listen to the podcast, you know we're not connoisseurs. We're like, it tastes like earthy dirt. I like it.
I would like my iced tea.
I will. Dude, you know what? Fuck, we should have had Austin here because he would.
Austin loves.
So
coffee.
Austin works at an bar, like an espresso bar, for like Nordstrom's or whatever, and he knows like all like the pour over shit and like,
nice.
He can like draw pictures with.
Whoa!
He's like,
he can do Skullcrack artwork in the mocha.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. So
Here's the Full Blast album cover.
we should have asked him about that shit. Like, hey, do you have any tips? Because they're gonna ask us about coffee. I know.
Yeah.
I know those motherfuckers are gonna ask us about coffee. But yeah.
I would say Ron Martinez, Crawl Space Booking. He rules. He's always supported us since we started.
I don't know why, because we fucking make him lose.
So when did you guys start? 2014 or 2015?
15.
15? So is everyone original still from the original lineup?
Yeah, I was actually not on the first record though. Eddie recorded bass on the first record, and I joined after everything was recorded.
I remember telling Nate, yeah, we're gonna go in and record, and he's like, yeah, dude, like, when are we doing that? And I was like, I don't know. I think it was before you actually auditioned, so I wasn't sure if he could do it or not. I'm like,
you're like, it's already done, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get it down, but he's on everything else after that. But yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, Ron's awesome though. He's always hooked us up with shows or just shouted out on Instagram or whatever. He plays in Final Conflict and
Lower Class
Brats.
Is that how you got hooked up with the Slapshot show?
Yeah. His company books Slapshot, and we played with them in Alex's bar. So shout out to Slapshot also, because Jack always is always saying Skullcrack stuff too on different podcasts and stuff. So
that's how I found out about you guys, was through Jack.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Stars and Stripes. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Nate sent them all like a bunch of our stuff too. So it's
records.
Yeah.
And
he wears the shirts and stuff. So he made a post that said like, if all hardcore, because I know he doesn't really listen to hardcore much anymore, but he said if like all hardcore bands sounded like this, I'd listen to more hardcore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's so sick. Okay, I gotta check this.
I actually made a meme that same day that he posted himself in that Skullcrack shirt, and it was when in Elf, when he walks in, he's like, "World's greatest cup of coffee! Congratulations!"
Congratulations!
I put a picture of Jack on the window, and he was looking at it, and then he runs inside. World's greatest hardcore band! Congratulations!
That's so good, because he's such like a. I mean, Nate, you and I kind of had this conversation because I played with Stars and Stripes before. He's just kind of like this grumpy old man, but he's like he's like this big figure in hardcore. But it's funny because he just geeks out about you guys. So I was like, this has got to be a good band.
And Dan O'Mahony's from No for an Answer's podcast, Dano Says So. He was on there too, and shouted us out, and I don't know, it's just funny.
What's the podcast?
Dano Says So.
Write that down, Mick.
Writing it down.
The Choke was on it.
Yeah.
And he talked about you guys.
Yeah, a little bit.
I want to check that out.
I remember running into Jack backstage at Alex's bar, and I was like, I was a little buzzed. I'm like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" He's like, "Hey," he's like on his phone. I'm like, my name's Eddie. I was like, nice to meet you. I was like, it's kind of like that scene in Dumb and Dumber, like, oh, big gulps, huh? Yeah. All right, see you later. And then we played. It was a matinee show. It was actually really cool. Like, I was always like, matinees are cool, but oh god. But
I like matinees. I went and saw Gorilla Biscuits at a matinee.
Dude, yeah.
I see
it got
like the East Coast matinees, like that's the shit, like over here on the West Coast, they can be hit or miss. I mean,
because the show got done at like 3.
Playing, so it was a great show.
What time did the show start?
Like 3?
Noon? Oh, 3?
It was a little later.
Maybe
like 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that.
And what time did it get done? Like 6?
Yeah, I'd say about 6 or so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's confusing because I'm used to going to shows really late. So when Grill Biscuits played in Chicago, I walked outside. It was still light. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
This is so-
What do I do now?
This is weird.
Highlight of the day. You can't really top that. You know?
I want to
So I
shout
just
out War Bison in San Francisco also. They're
War Bison.
Yeah, they're great. They're not doing too much at the moment, but they're awesome. We toured with them in Ghoul, also thanks to Ron. But that was really fun. They're a good band.
Good boys.
They're good
boys.
boys.
Yeah,
What kind of music?
They're a hardcore band too. They got some
They from Cal. Where'd you say they're from?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah. They got some. I don't like. It's not usually like the style of hardcore I would listen to, but like I was listening to I forget what band like not too long ago, and I texted them. I was like, hey, like I was listening to this band. It reminds me of you guys. And like, yeah, I hear that. So it's like it's not always like the kind of hardcore that I listen to, but I just love the dudes and
Yeah.
they're really good. Like we played with them for a bunch of nights in a row, and I went up to see them play with Death Angel for their like Death Angel's Christmas show in San Francisco and Night Demon, and that was so fun. Like they're awesome. So
all really solid dudes.
And it's always good when the band is really good and the people in the band are really good.
yeah, that's the best.
We've for the most part like we've ran
best.
like a lot of the bands like we've toured with or played with. Everyone's like super cool. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Ramones, they were really nice.
yeah.
Did you say the Ramones?
Yeah.
They're super dead, but they were super nice.
So dead.
When did the last Ramone die? Oh, great. Never mind. Now we're getting into like this
I
whole
guess
like,
CJ's technically still alive, but he's not like a.
but he's not a Ramone. Really.
I'd probably
He,
like
he
2000.
rocks it though.
I don't know, 2004, 6, something like that. I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're starting to get towards like further and further in time where like all our heroes are dying slowly. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of weird.
It's all up to us.
It's all up to us.
It's up to us.
Oh, great.
Exactly. I agree.
How old are you guys? Is that a weird question? Are we allowed to ask that? Are we hiring for a job? I don't.
Yeah. I'm 27.
I'm 32 actually. I think.
Are you the elder of the band?
No, Jeff is. He's 33.
Oh.
Whoa.
It's actually,
No,
yeah.
he's a
fuck
year
you.
older.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny actually because I was a grade ahead of him, but he's older than me. So like I got out of high school, and like we were still in bands. I'm like, haha, yeah, I'm gonna go home. Like, fuck, all my friends are still in school.
Wait, so he's older than you, but you graduated before him?
Yeah, it was like a weird birthday thing. I think I graduated 17.
Mm.
So I have no idea how it worked. Just take my word for it.
Yeah.
He's older than me.
Don't go check the facts.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show. We really
man.
appreciate it.
Having us.
Thank you.
Hopefully, you
Yeah.
got some content.
Yeah,
Of
hopefully
course.
something in there.
No,
Good.
no, good content.
Mick and I are big fans of you guys too, so this is it's cool to have you guys on because we're fans interviewing a band that we really like. So that's always fun.
Much
So-
appreciated.
so
Thank you for
awesome. Thank
listening
you.
and like
Yeah.
giving a shit. You
Of
know,
course.
that's,
Dude, you guys are awesome.
that's always really cool, and we're happy to do the song for you guys. I'm glad it
Yeah.
came out as cool as it did. Like I said, I was like stoked on it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
for people who don't know Skullcrack, what song should we play for them to exit you guys out of here?
Ooh.
I don't know that one.
Nick's wife's favorite song.
Do it.
Motherfucker.
Do it. Dropping it right now.
Here we go.
Boom.
Like
Cool. We're out.
And also, adios, motherfuckers.
Nice.
That'll be the segue.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate this a lot, especially just it's really cool like when people reach out to talk to us about stuff and like not that we're like
Actually,
whatever,
people actually
just-
give a shit.
yeah, exactly. It's
Like,
just
oh,
cool
wow.
to know like that because we're doing this, like people care and like want to hear about it and like want to like listen to it and all that stuff. We just appreciate it a lot that you guys reached out to do it. So and that you guys are doing this at all, like for a lot of charity stuff and just you guys like hanging out and meeting with each other. I think friendship's like super important, so that's really cool. So.
If I might also add, like I would say like it, yeah, like double what Nate said, you know, but also like guys like you, like the people that take pictures at fucking shows and like do podcasts like this and like check out bands, like actually give a shit. I feel like that stuff gives like the scene so much momentum as well, you know, because
Awesome.
imagine, especially nowadays, like Instagram, like social media, and none of you guys were like taking pictures or no one was doing a podcast. Like how the fuck like would anyone hear about a new band or like see a band like, oh, like I wish I was there sort of thing, or like fuck this band sounds cool. So thank you guys for doing what you do. Like it's really cool. And
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
later.
See you.
Bye.
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 Oh gosh. All right, so it is that time of the show when we, Wiley and I, review albums that we like, that we send to each other, and we're like, yeah, let's check these out. So
That's right.
So I actually have an album pick this month. Wiley has an album pick this month. Then we decided we were going to review another album that we both kind of dig that just came out not too long ago. And then someone sent us an album to review.
That's right.
So we got some good stuff. So you want to start with my pick first?
Sure.
All right. So I've got a band all the way from Gothenburg, Sweden. The band is Obstruktion. The album title is Monarchs of Decay. 10 tracks. It came out February 26th of this year.
2021.
And it's 28 minutes long. No, actually 28 minutes, 5 seconds long. That's how long this thing is. I'm putting all these details in here because I know how much you need them. All right.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So here's what I think about this album. I love it. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. I listened to it on vacation and really dug it. It really gets me in the mood to just want to punch things, which is good.
Dude, you bet you went on vacation.
Yeah, I did go on vacation. Yes.
That's right.
I went to Tennessee and I saw Dolly Parton. No, I didn't really
Wait.
see her, but I went to where her theme park is, that area. But yeah, I went on vacation and I listened to this album a lot. I dug it quite a bit. A lot of thrash.
With the family listened to this album.
Well, I listened to this album more in my headphones because it wasn't just my family that went. It was my family and my in-laws. So I didn't want to give my mother-in-law a heart attack. Although Lindsay did listen to a lot of heavy stuff when she was younger, but this might have been a little too much for her. But no, I watched some good international friendly soccer preparing for the Europa 2020 that's going on right now. So I actually watched a Sweden friendly while I listened to these guys.
On
cool.
purpose.
On purpose, yes. But no, so here's what I think about this. A lot of thrash guitar tones and riffs, blistering drums, and of course, really gritty bass. This thing goes from huge chugga chugga to straight thrash, back to the chugga chugga, then to the thrash, and then every once in a while they'll throw in some crazy guitar solo.
Is that a technical term, the chugga chugga?
Yes, there's a technical term, chugga chugga. But it doesn't get too techy. It doesn't go that far, I don't think. But I love what grabs me so much is the guitar tone, the breakdowns. It totally reminds me. I don't know if you remember the band Caliban from back in the day.
What's the band name?
Caliban. If I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. I always pronounced it Caliban. It might be Caliban. I don't know, but they're from that part of Europe as well. But they kind of remind me of them mixed with some.
Was Blindside from Sweden?
Yes, they were.
I like that first record a lot.
I did too. I dug that first album quite a bit. But Caliban, Earth Crisis, the Destroy the Machines era kind of has that kind of guitar tone. But yeah, I dig it quite a bit. And I'm gonna drop my favorite song. My favorite song is End of Days, because it's a nonstop power punch and the drums don't stop. It's just nonstop. Yeah. So
we're dropping it now?
Drop it now. Here it comes.
Okay. Boom.
All right, so we're back. So Wiley, what did you think?
Well, Mr. Mick, this album is noisy.
Yeah.
It's melodic.
Yes.
It's heavy. And it's intense. Super intense. It's heavy hardcore with a hint of metalcore vibes. You hear that?
Yes.
Okay. But it's forgivable. The music is in your face. It's spastic. It's mean. It does have a lot of similar guitar riffs in a lot of the songs.
It does, yes.
Yet the intensity keeps you intrigued. They definitely have a formula musically, but it seems to work for me. I actually do like this album a lot. I do. It's just a little intense musically, like all the time.
Yes.
It doesn't really give you a lot of time to think or breathe. And I imagine though, if you're listening to it like you did on vacation, like were you listening to this like you could see like a lot of like scenery and trees and
yes,
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
To listen to it on like a car ride or even a van ride, like if you were playing a show like really far away and
right.
On the way home from after playing an intense show, you're listening to this and just driving and seeing scenery for a long time. That would be really cool. It'd be a good soundtrack for that, I feel like. But yeah, it doesn't give you much time to think or breathe. So you need to be doing something where you can think. And when you think it's going to give you a minute to process what's going on, it slaps you like right back into the chaos.
Right.
The intro to Driven by Hate gives you like at the 124 mark, it actually gives you a time to collect your breath and thoughts before it kicks you straight back in the face.
Yes.
It's a nice break, but I also dig the creeping in fade up. Like the intro like fades up,
Yes.
like instead of fading out into that Bottomless Grave song. Kind of a cool way to do that, I thought. They do some rad things with this record. Yet for 10 tracks, I have to say they stretch out a very similar guitar riff for most of these songs is my only complaint.
Right.
Like I think I heard the same guitar riff in at least 4 other songs.
Which honestly goes
It's
back
forgivable.
to it is, but it goes back to that comparison that I have with Earth Crisis in the Destroy the Machines era, because they did a lot of the same guitar riffs on that album too. So
and I'm not dogging this record like you might sound like I am, but it is really well written and really well put together and very thought out.
Yeah.
I recommend you listening to it. And my favorite track is Blackened Skies. I love the intensity of it. Let's drop that track. Let's drop it right now.
One more thing about this album before we go, because I wrote this down when I was on vacation. This album is like a grizzly bear destroying a Swiss chocolate factory in the middle of summer. It's a massacre. That's what I wrote down. And I know Sweden and Switzerland are 2 different places, but if a Swedish bear attacked a Swiss chocolate factory, that's what that's like.
I like that imagery. So what do you want to do? Do you want me to do my band that I picked, and then we'll do the? Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So my band is Dry Socket, and the album is Shiver.
Yes.
And it was released May of last year, May 2020, and it's 6 tracks.
Yes.
So I picked this record because it's super intense vocally, and I truly dig it. I love the clean kind of sounding hardcore. It's also super interesting with gritty, almost like shitty in the best way vocals.
Right. Right.
And that's not a diss at all. That's a good thing. I dig the track Icebergs because of how the guitars, they just like lock in together. I don't know. I dig this track. I really like this track. Let's drop Icebergs. Let's drop it now.
Boom.
Okay, what do you think?
Here, the first thing that caught my attention to this band is the bass tone. Of course, I'm going to gravitate towards the bass tone. I like the bass tone quite a bit because the bass tone's angry. The whole band is angry. It's got this angry, pissed off, hardcore sound. And not only that, like you brought up the vocals, like you can hear the passion and the emotions in the vocalist. And you can also hear maybe some thoughts and struggles with some mental health and anxiety. Like you can hear screaming that out. At least that's kind of what I was kind of drawn from it, which made it very therapeutic for me, like to listen to this and then, kind of wrestle with some stuff. But the song that really, to me, brought that out was the Damn You, that song. And the line, I believe what I believe, no one wants to be around me. Just that, because you know what? I feel like that sometimes. And the feeling and the emotions that I got from that song was like, like it totally brought out all of that angst and stress. And like, I feel like that sometimes people don't want to be around me. So that song, and then Muzzle was the intensity in that song and the lyrics just match the pounding rhythm section and the pissed off guitars. Like the just
super pissed off guitars.
Yeah, it just all fits really well together. So
so which one do you pick?
I'm gonna say Damn You, that song. I like that quite a bit.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Cool. So we were sent this next record.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
This band's called Placeholder.
Yep.
And they came out with a new album titled No One Asked for This.
Right.
The label is a split release with Crew Cuts Record in the UK and the record label from the US. Release date mid-June 2021. So at this point, I think it's being released soon. Right?
Yeah.
Soon. It'll already be released by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
7-inch record is the format it's being released on, and the band is from St. Louis,
Right.
Missouri, and it's 5 tracks.
Yeah.
So I actually, you know what? Let's hear what you have to say about it.
You want to hear what I say? Okay, here's what I have to say. I have a lot of friends that told me to check these guys out even before they sent us anything. And so I was interested to hear what they sound like. So I'll say this, it's interesting. They kind of remind me of Thrice a little bit, especially the whole illusion of safety and identity crisis era, mixed with some kind of punk overtones. It's and sometimes I just hear Dogwood. Do you remember the band Dogwood?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know if
the
it's
Christian
punk kind of punk
band.
band. Yeah. I don't know if it's the bass tone or what, but it kind of reminds me a little bit. And that's one thing I do really like about this album is the bass player doesn't stop. He hangs right in there with the drummer. There's a really good rhythm back and forth section between the two.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Yeah, a good example of that for me is Virtual Signal, the end, where the bass run is just for days. The guy just keeps going and going. I'm like, what? Here's my only hang up about this album.
Okay.
I hate the first song. I'm using
you. We talked about this off podcast. I didn't think you were going to actually say that. But...
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's good to be honest.
I just don't like it. I don't think it fits with the rest of the album. Once that song's over and the rest of the songs kick in, I'm like, yes.
Tell us why you don't like it.
I don't like it because of it's the vocals. Okay. The vocals just, I don't like it. And then there's a background vocal part that comes in.
Well, like explain to people because we're probably not going to play that first song, right?
Right. No.
So
I can't remember what the name of that song is.
Well, like, what? Tell the listener what you don't like about it.
I guess it's tonally, if that's the right word, like tonally, the tone.
By the way, did you download this when I sent it to you?
Yes.
So you have it saved?
Yeah, I have it saved. Yes.
Okay, good. Because I just went and clicked on the thing and they just continued the link.
Yeah, I have it. So
cool.
We'll be able to play the links in the thing. But it just, to me, it doesn't fit the rest of the songs. And
too mellow, you think, for the rest?
It's too mellow. It just doesn't sound like, it's almost like to me, it's almost like a totally different band. And so when the background vocals come in and it's a girl singing, and it's not, the vocals are bad. It just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't fit the vibe of what the rest of the album. Because like when Virtual Signal comes on and it has that bass player and he's playing those riffs and it's gnarly. It's like, yes, but it just doesn't, to me, the two they don't mix well. And it's almost like that song, maybe it was from a different era or an older thing and they just brought it and added it to these set of songs. I don't know. Hopefully they don't hate me for saying this because I have friends that are friends with them, and I don't want to think that. Because listen, seriously, the other 4 songs in this album are killer, and I absolutely I like them a lot. But if I only heard that first song as a single, I'd be like, I'd pass.
Oh,
I would.
Brutally honest.
I hate that.
I think being honest is good because it shows like when you actually like something, someone's gonna know you're not just blowing smoke.
Right.
So.
And so if you ask me about the rest of the album, I'm gonna say 100%. And when it comes out, I'll grab a record. I mean, I'd buy it because I've heard the rest of the songs. But if I only heard that first song, I wouldn't.
My turn?
Your turn.
Now that the everyone in Placeholder stopped listening to the
Coffee they're mad because I said all that.
So I'm really digging the bass tone on this EP record a lot. The guitar is kind of epic, dare I say it. But it is. The recording quality is also very, very good.
Yes.
The guitar and vocals give this melodic kind of 90s feel.
Yes.
It's got sometimes to me it's got an alternative rock meets 90s hardcore meets heavy indie rock.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's still very hardcore too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's hardcore.
Right.
It just has elements of these different things.
Right.
To me, it's a breath of fresh air. It's almost, I'm not even gonna pretend to remember what album that was that you sent me that we've talked about before also. But it's because I got old man brain, but it's different, and I appreciate these differences in hardcore records, because hardcore bands and records can get kind of caught in that same funk, that same circle of everything sounds the same. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was different. It's a breath of fresh air. They mix so much great stuff, and it's slightly different sounding that I actually had to give it a few listens before I actually was like, you know what, I do like this, because I didn't know what to expect sometimes, if that makes sense, listening to it. So when I finally knew what to expect and knew what I was listening to, it became a really good record for me. And that sometimes becomes my favorite bands and favorite records, is when I'm like, I don't know if I like this. Right. Because I'm not familiar with it, and it doesn't, like, records that I really love right away sometimes get old quickly. But records that I don't necessarily get right away become the records I listen to for many, many years. My favorite track is Sickness Health, because I love the way the vocals are delivered. It reminds me of Aaron Weiss from Me Without You. Yeah. was singing hardcore. Yeah. In a way. So, yo, let's drop it. Sickness Health, drop it now. Ooh. Cool. Yeah. I like that track. That's a rad track. Good.
It is a rad track.
So I want to say thank you to Placeholder for sending this to us. and letting us review this and listen to it early, because it was a treat to my ear. Thank you guys.
And honestly, we don't really do that all the time, because people send us some stuff and we're like, maybe not, and we don't. So.
You know what? People send us stuff a lot that I don't even send you.
Right.
Because I it doesn't make it past me.
Right. So it the fact that it made it this far, it means it's good. We dig it.
Yeah, we do. So. I do dig it. And
yeah,
when they hit me up, I was really excited to hear it as well. So I'm glad we reviewed it, because it is a good record. They should be very proud of it.
Yes. Yeah.
But dude, let's get into the record.
All right. Yeah, let's do this one.
This is the record.
Yeah. So we're gonna review Look
at this. I put my hood up.
We're gonna review ZAO Crimson Corridor. How about that one?
Yes, we are.
It dropped on 4/9/21. 11 tracks of brutality. 11 tracks of brutality. So you want me to go first?
Let's hear it.
All right. So I'm going to try not to say some of the stuff that I know you're going to say. All right. So here's one thing that I want to say. ZAO is back. Like, this album's killer.
I agree.
And I listened to this album a lot while I was on vacation. I really got to put on some headphones and dig it. And it's becoming my favorite ZAO album.
Oh yeah?
Yes, it is. It's because it's beautiful. It's dark. It stirs up all kinds of emotions. The song R.I.P.W. One, there is a ton of groove, and I don't know if you ever watched Emperor's New Groove. That's my one of my kids' favorite Disney movies. But there's an old man that gets tossed out of the castle because he interrupted the Emperor's groove, and so he says this whole line where it says "Beware the groove." And so that's when I heard this song, I started saying that. I was like, "Beware the groove," because it is so crazy. But also on top of that, it's very emotional. You totally get lost in it. There's the line that says, "I'm sorry your end was so violent. I am sorry for the form in which it came. I was there, but I wasn't there for you. You were scared and couldn't hear my voice." And just knowing all the tragic stuff that has happened, to all of us in the last year and a half, that song just, for me, emotionally just fits in some of that release, because, there are a lot of people that we couldn't be there for because of the distance and couldn't hear our voice to even say goodbye in some instances. So this song, I know people are like, what, a metal song, hardcore song, whatever, can have that impact? Yes, this song is that impactful to me. It's very beautiful. So that for me, like I said, it's slowly become one of my favorite ZAO records. So, and I won't say anymore because I want to say because I know what you're going to say and I want to say it too. So I'm going to let you say it. So
do you want to drop a track?
Yeah, let's drop R.I.P.W.
Cool. Let's do that right now.
So, Wiley, what's your thoughts on this album?
Well, because you asked, I love this album. Period. All done. Okay. No.
All right.
The intro is soft.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Back up.
Okay.
So you sent me this album and you told me about this album.
Right.
And I think I said, yeah, I gave up on ZAO. Like,
right.
You know, and not just because you're Mick from ZAO, but
right.
You know, the two first records were the ZAO records.
Right.
For us, like people who listen to that back in the 90s, you know?
Right, right.
And then when ZAO changed and Blood and Fire, if I'm remembering this correctly, was like the first new lineup with Jesse and the other guys, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, I remember when that came out, I was like, oh, man. And I was like, this isn't going to even be the same band. And then listening to it and be like, holy crap!
right,
this
right.
band is so good. But then their second release with the new lineup and Jesse on drums was my favorite ZAO record.
Right.
Like no offense, but maybe ever.
Right.
The Save Yourself from Hell record, because it was so dark.
Yeah, that's a good record.
I'm not really like a metalcore kind of person. So I by default liked the first two ZAO records that you were on and that you helped write and put together more, but I don't know, man. Like when Save Yourself from Hell came out, I was just blown away.
Yeah.
By how good and how dark and how deep sounding that record really was.
Right.
And I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think ZAO ever topped that record until maybe this one.
Until this one, yeah.
And another thing is the last ZAO record that I ever liked and really got into, like I've given everyone that they've come out with a listen and a try, and I just couldn't get into them. But Funeral of God was the last ZAO record that I actually liked. And I remember, what's the guitar player's name that does the singing?
Scott,
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I shouldn't have liked his singing because it's like that emo kind of terrible singing, but for some reason it like worked so well on Funeral for God.
Right.
Like it fit together so good. And I thought I should hate this, but I didn't. I loved it. But I couldn't get into like the Albini record, the Fear That Keeps Us Here. I tried so much. I wanted to. The album cover was so awesome. Like it reminded me of like Chevelle meets ZAO. And I wanted to get into that record. I couldn't. I hated how it was recorded. I know all the behind the scenes on that. Like Dan couldn't sing through. He had to sing through an amp that was distorted because they wouldn't let him use any preamps or any filters. I know, I get it. I just don't like it. And the well-intentioned, what's the other one called? The
Well-Intentioned Virus.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into that one. Just not my thing, and that's okay.
Right.
So let's start from there. So you send this to me. You're like, yo, this is coming out. I think you got an early copy of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, tell me what you think of this record. I gave it like I listened to the first song and I was like, oh, cool. It's like really slow. And then and then here's where I failed this record as a listener when you sent it to me originally before it came out, is that I didn't listen to it as a record. I skipped the songs and listened to it and then fast forward it. And I was like, this record doesn't do it for me either. Sorry, ZAO, you lost. And then it came up when it came out. I still didn't really, the first week, I still didn't really give it any time. And then it kept popping up on my Spotify playlist. And I was like, oh man, you know what? I should give this thing a listen. This is the record that Mick told me to listen to. And I just kind of skipped through it. So you know what? I'm going to listen to it all the way through. And I did. And I couldn't stop listening to it because it's a record that you have to listen to as like an old school record.
Right.
And I'm the one who texted you and was like, dude, we're we're gonna we're gonna review this record because this might be one of the best ZAO records and one of the best records so far of 2021.
Right.
And so, do you agree with this stuff?
I totally agree. I think it tells a story, and you have to listen to the whole story for it to actually even make sense. And so if you try to pick out one or two, it doesn't work. Because I've tried that too. I've tried to be like, oh, I like this song, I like this song. But honestly, like even RIPW, which is a song I really like, doesn't really fit well if you don't listen to the song before and the song after.
Right. Like it's weird. It's like you're reading a book.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can't skip chapters.
No, because it won't make sense. It just flows, and it definitely has this ebb and flow that fits so well all together. And if you try to break it apart, it completely messes things up. It's like if you throw a pebble in a pond and you see those ripples, it's beautiful when and you sit and watch it. But if you try to break that up or chop it up, it doesn't make sense. It's
sure. The weird thing about this record, though, is I listened to it at work while I was making screens and burning screens for shirts and stuff like that. I just put it on during my day. I usually listen to podcasts. I usually listen to, whatever. And I just kept listening to it over and over. And I couldn't believe when I looked at how long this record was. It's 57 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like 57 minutes. That's the crazy thing.
No. Like I think there's a 12-minute song somewhere on there too. I think near the end, and it doesn't feel like there's a 12-minute song.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You get lost in it. Like there's times I've listened to it, and then it'll be, and I'm thinking I'm still on like track 2 or 3 when really I'm at the end of the album. Like it flew by that fast because it all like just, I don't know. It's like I said, it just tells this dark emotional story. And if you try it, and it's like if you try to jump in the middle of it, it's not going to make any sense. But if you listen to the whole thing, it totally does.
And that's crazy because most artists, if not all artists these days, write for singles now.
Right.
I have so much respect, if they care or not. I have so much respect for ZAO for writing this record as a record. And anyone hearing this review and likes ZAO or digs that style of music, you need to give this a listen.
Yeah.
Like as a whole record.
Yeah.
Please if you have an hour to spare, if you're mowing the lawn, if you're working and you're privileged enough to listen to music at your work, or you're going for a run, but make sure you have an hour. Don't break this up. Like, don't listen to this record 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. You know what I mean? Like, actually sit down with this record when you find an hour. And I know that sounds crazy today because no one seems like they have an hour to spare all the way through, but do that and you will have an amazing trip.
Yeah.
You'll be going on this crazy trip with this band, and they'll take you on this trip and you won't regret it.
No, and I suggest trying to find a way to either listen to it on headphones or some sort of decent stereo that you can turn up, because you start hearing all kinds of crazy things. Like in Ship of Theseus, the guitar work in it, and then there's these pans back and forth that are like, if you're just listening to it on your phone or you're listening to it in your car, you might not quite hear that. But man, when you put in the headphones or listen to sit somewhere and actually listen, you can hear all that. And then if you've, reading some of the stuff in the message boards and stuff like that, that Jeff, the drummer, have talked about, like they've put all kinds of other stuff in this album. Like, and he hasn't said who it is, but there's some decrypted, like something from some album they took and put in here, and they messed with it enough to where you couldn't tell what it was.
Wait, like a different album?
Well, somebody else's. I think they did. I can't quite remember the whole thing, but they took something from an album that they like. I can't remember the artist, and they mess with it enough to where, you can't recognize it so they don't get in trouble. But they put it in one of the songs, and he won't say, like, they won't say which one it is. They kind of like want people to figure it out.
That's cool.
So, you sit there and listen to this stuff, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff in there. So, yeah. The studio work on this album is unreal too. So
I like Creator Destroyer. That's my
yeah. That's
I love how slow, sluggish, sludgy it is. Again, though, like you kind of have. It's hard to pick a song as a single, like we talked about. So it's hard to just like drop one song.
Right.
I don't know, but I really like when it kicks in at the 3:05 mark. Is there a way that we can play it from there?
Yeah, totally.
Let's play, because to me, like, this album's not written as songs. It's written as like a piece of music, like a whole piece of music. So I think if we just take it from 3:05, it doesn't matter, because it changes. It's so different. Right. So let's play it. Let's play it from the 3:05 mark and drop Creator Destroyer. Let's do it now. Boom.
Awesome.
Cool. We're back.
We're back. There they were.
Yeah. That's it. We're done with this segment.
4 great albums. There you go.
Moving on.
All right.
Fresh Pots! Fresh Pot!
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Jabba. Yes.
What's up, everybody? Coffee and Hardcore. We welcome Ryan Evans, formerly the drummer of F.B.S. Is that right? F.B.S?
Yes.
Fight Before Surrender.
Mm-hmm. Festal Shout.
And the Festal Shout.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Welcome to Coffee and Hardcore. How you doing?
Doing great, man. I appreciate you having me. This is really cool. I've never done anything like this before, so this will be good. This will be good. It's good to see you.
For sure. So he's here to chat with us about his favorite coffee of recent.
Nice.
And he actually sent me his coffee that he had, medium roast. Did you have the same one?
I did.
Okay, so you sent me the exact same one.
I
and
did.
Tell our listeners what coffee you picked.
there's a coffee brewer in a city about 15 miles north of Dayton, Ohio, called Troy, and the coffee company is called Purebred Coffee, and they're a really cool shop. And then they'll do like these small batch roasts from time to time. And this one, forgive me, I don't remember the name of it. But
I don't know if I saw a name on the bag.
it was,
Let me look. I took a photo of it. I drank mine already, by the way.
yeah, I know mine's gone too. So, and like earlier tonight, my wife was like, "Do you remember like the name and kind of some of the notes of the coffee and stuff?" I'm like, She's like, "It's on the bag," and I'm like, "Shoot, I threw the bag away." Yeah, it was delicious though.
It was good. That's all that matters.
Very good.
Yeah, well, because we were supposed to have you on last week, and stuff got switched around. So
Yeah, that's totally
that's
fine.
on us.
Yeah,
no
that was-
worries, man. No worries. I'm flexible. It's all
I
good.
did write down the notes though. It's notes of caramel, brown sugar, and cinnamon
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
from Guatemala. I
Yeah.
couldn't find the picture. Oh yes, I can. I think this is it. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one. It's called like La Charuga or something like that.
Codico Tinico.
Okay, I was way off.
CODECHTINECO.
Yes,
I
that's the
don't
one. Codeco
That's it.
Tineco.
I
Something
don't
like
math and I don't spell.
Oh. Kodach Tineco. My
There
wife
it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Tineco.
My wife saves
Okay.
the day.
Dude, that was kind of weird. So your wife walked behind you, and for some reason, this is gonna sound crazy, but for some reason, I thought I was looking in a mirror, and I was like, "What the?" Like, I thought someone was behind me. I'm so weird. It actually freaked me out for a quick second. I was like, "Shit, who's that behind me?" Oh, that's not me. That's you.
Hey, it'd be even weirder if she was at your place and not mine.
That would be weird. She's just hanging out, telling us the name of the coffee. No big deal.
I found it online too, so
Yeah.
I've got it right here.
So you're gonna put it in you're gonna let people click on it if they need to,
Yes.
if they want to.
Yes.
So come on, tell me about this coffee.
I really liked it a lot. I mean, there's nothing that Purebred. It's a favorite place of my wife and I used to live in that city. I lived in that city for about 10 years, and they opened up probably within my last 2 years of living there. So I would go there as often as I possibly could. And an added bonus to that was the music store that was right above it. So I would go to the coffee shop, and then I would go to the music store where my friends worked and hang out. But no, the coffee's really good. It's medium roast. It's really not heavy. It's really not dark. It's really not intense. It's very smooth. And of course, you pick up on some cinnamon and some brown sugar there. And I don't know. I really like it. It's really good. And that coffee shop is it's just a really neat place, and they've got people there all the time. Like,
They still have a music store up above them?
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a neat place. And usually, like, when I have a friend who lives in Chicago, actually, and his wife is from this area, and actually he is too. And whenever he comes to town, we usually meet up at Purebred. So it's good. I'm no coffee expert, so I'm not really sure what all you want me to say about
Neither
it.
are we.
We don't know what we're talking about either.
We just thought it would be cool. We thought it would be cool to have other people on instead of us jabbermouths talking about coffee and their experiences. Because I was like, how many episodes do people just want to hear from Mick and I about coffee? We don't know what we're talking about either.
No, it's good. It's good. I I actually just got into drinking coffee probably 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like before that, it was a once in a blue moon thing for me. It was like a once a week. I'd go to this coffee shop to get my Gilmore Girls coffee.
Gilmore Girls.
Espresso, yeah, mostly, and then mostly cream, sugar, whipped cream, syrup, fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
And but then once I started kind of dating, who's now my wife, like she got me a coffee maker for Christmas a couple years ago, and pretty much created a monster after that. So like I can't do anything. And I'll tell you what, man, just like a couple weeks ago, I stopped drinking coffee after dinner.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. Like you can actually sleep the whole night.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee past 5 ever.
I did it tonight for this occasion.
Yeah. Did you drink the coffee that you're reviewing? No.
What'd you say?
Are you drinking the coffee that we're reviewing? And I said no.
Yes. Actually,
oh, you are?
The last of it.
Okay.
Nice.
Because I thought you said you drank it all.
Yeah, just a little bit ago.
You mean you're drinking it all right now?
Right. It's gone now. It's
it's gone. I liked it as well. I drank it in about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Brought it to work. Made it at work too. Yeah, I was really excited about it. It was that first one you sent me was flavored coffee, so
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, so this was way better.
Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that too, man. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
You didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't, but it's okay. But I'm glad that this one was better for you. And
oh yeah, this one is great. I recommend this one for sure to people who like medium roast coffee. It's definitely a good blend.
They had this one. I think that the one that really kind of got me into that place was, like I say, they'll do like these small batch things and they'll do them for a limited time, and then like they don't seem to do them again. So it's kind of like
when they never again.
I don't know. I've not seen this one that I'm about to tell you about. I don't think I've seen since. It was kind of like one of those things like get it while the getting's good because it may not come back. But it was called like, it was like a maple bourbon roast. And I mean, I know it's a flavored coffee thing, but it was really good. They used, the syrup they used for it was actually maple syrup that was aged in old bourbon barrels.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And it was very good. And the cool thing is like, I kind of had to.
This coffee company you're talking about?
Yeah, Purebred.
Purebred. Oh.
Yeah. I kind of had to track down where they got that syrup. And it's true. I did. And then like the guy who owns the place, one of the owners, and I like, we've known each other for a few years now, and we always talk and stuff when I go in there. And he told me where the place was and how to get it. And so I told Amanda, I was like, we should go to that place and see if we can get some of this syrup. Well, here's the deal. Full disclosure. In order to get the syrup, we had to sit through like a whiskey tasting.
Oh.
Because like the deal was like they gave you this little flight, just little bits here and there. And it got a little bit stronger with each one. And then the very last shot, of course, was that maple syrup. And then, so you couldn't buy anything from the gift shop until you went through that little tasting. So
weird.
Yeah. It was kind of strange.
What if you're like, bro, I don't drink? Then what? But you got to sit there and watch other people drink.
Yeah. I thought it was
someone who does.
Right. Slip them some money and be like, hey man, just go in there and give me some of this. That's what I'm looking for.
That's crazy.
It's kind of like that guy from Seinfeld that had the cafe. And if you didn't order things right or do things right, he said, no soup for you. So it's kind of like, no syrup for you.
No soup for you.
1 year, you wait.
Yes.
So you got anything that you want to plug? Like any friends, bands, any other coffee shops, any skate shops, any music shops?
Gosh,
any cookie factories?
Anything?
Any
Any new
what factory?
bands? Cookie factories.
Oh,
Any new bands people should check out?
oh man. Oh yeah, I heard you.
On the spot, bro. On the spot.
Yeah.
That's how I do.
Jeez. Well, I'll tell you what. The new Antagonizers ATL album, Kings.
Yeah.
Excellent. Love it. It's very good.
You know, we had a win on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that episode and I remember like, oh yeah, I remember hearing that they've got a new one coming out, and so yeah, that's a really good one. Besides that, let's see, what else have I been? I don't know. I've been listening to. I got the Rude Boy soundtrack, which is like, it's like Rude Boy, the story of Trojan Records.
Mm-hmm.
I got that soundtrack a couple weeks ago, and I've been listening to that. You know, classic reggae, you know, mid 60s, late 60s and on. I've not seen the movie. I would like to watch it. It seems really cool. That scene has always kind of intrigued me. But yeah, that one's pretty good. As far as new bands, man, I don't know. Like The Crew. Have you heard The Crew?
The song?
No, sorry. Did you like how I did no transition there at all? I'm like, dude, have you heard The Crew? No, the Crew. Okay, yeah, this is pretty exciting. The Crew is, let's see, it's Tim and Matt from Rancid.
Oh.
Fletcher and Byron from Pennywise, and Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies on vocals.
I have not. Dude, those are 3 great picks. You have some diversity there in music.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm the guy that, yeah, I'm kind of everywhere with music, man. Like you, yeah. You know.
Wait, are you doing a band right now?
I am.
Is it a secret?
I can't really go into a whole lot of detail because it's not like, it's still, we're in the practice phase, like we're still in the very beginning. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely something going on, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be really great, and really excited about it. It's good, man. It'll be cool. But you know, we're still really early on, and things are still kind of coming together. But it's cool because like these guys are all like seasoned, you know, they're all veterans. So it's like practicing really isn't like this tough thing, you know, because we all kind of know what we're doing as best as we do, you know. So it's like, okay, we, you know.
But that's kind of how it was with F.B.S, right? You guys were all seasoned.
Yeah, I did not, you know what's weird? I never ever saw that band play live.
Before you joined, do you mean?
Before I joined. Never. Like,
so how'd you hook up with them?
Mutual friend. Like, I knew of them. Like, I'd seen their flyers and stuff around, but just like wasn't able to go to shows or whatever, you know, had something going on or whatever. And then a mutual friend told me that they were looking for a drummer to do at least local stuff. And so then I was like, oh, I'm going to get online and check these guys out. And I checked them out and was like, wow, like this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
So then like I messaged them and we met and talked for a couple hours. And then I eventually auditioned and then was, you know, asked to join. So it was weird. Like having never seen their setup, like that was weird because like I went into that practice space and was like, okay, this is crazy. These things are going to be loud.
Was it a small space?
It was like it was like an old school like classroom.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't super small, but you know, they just have massive gear.
Yes.
Yeah. And the drums are right in line with all of that stuff. And so they're like, what song you want to do? And I just kind of was like, okay, let's do blah, blah, blah. And then clicked it off and we went into it. And it was literally like, I heard nothing. I could not hear the vocals. I could not hear, like, I would pick up, I got to the point where like I was practicing these songs enough to where I could play them in my sleep. But then when you go to actually do it live and you can't hear any of it, I'm like kind of watching cues of like different guys going up to the mics and thinking, okay, this part of the song now. And it was just,
oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool, but yeah, so that's how I joined with those guys. And like I didn't know those guys or anything before I joined. It was like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just totally like I'm just gonna meet these guys and go for it. And
so how did the Festal Shout come about?
The Festal Shout came about because
I love that band, by the way.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. That band was great, dude. Like,
are you guys putting that to rest?
Don't
want to talk about it.
I'm not really sure. I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to do it again. I think it'd be cool, but I don't know. I can't. I can't.
There's so many moving parts with that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot there, and that band came about because I think that Justin, the singer, and then Josh from F.B.S, at one point they had this idea of doing
Justin from The Last Hope.
Yes, right. Yeah, exactly. They had this idea of like kind of different guys from different bands getting together and doing this thing. And then Justin, I guess, had all these songs written and he just didn't have a band to play with. And so he came to Troy one day where I was living, and we went to my buddy's rehearsal space for his band / little recording studio that he has. And we just started playing, and it was wild. And a couple of those songs, man, were.
Did he play a guitar originally with you when you played those songs? Because he plays guitar, right?
Justin?
Yeah. Does he play bass?
I think he. Oh man, I don't know.
I know he didn't in the band, but I think he does.
I know that he wrote those songs on the guitar, and then he just kind of needed a band to kind of fill it in. Yeah, and so that band just kind of came about on like just this idea, and then Justin's thing was, he wanted it to be like praise and worship type music, but like
punk.
Yeah, like great, loud and all that. So
yeah,
and we had a blast with it, man. It was a lot of fun. And when that band first started, there were 6 guys in that group.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, there were 6 right in the very beginning, and then
it kind of became like F.B.S backing him, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because we played a show with you guys at Japuza, right? And it was F.B.S and Festal Shout and October and 2 Minute Minor.
Yeah, I've actually got that flyer hanging up on my wall back there, underneath the record.
I can kind of see it, I think. Well, all right. This is the time where we are unfortunately going to have to say goodbye because we're old and it's getting late.
Yeah, I got to get to bed.
But we thought this was going to be short and sweet, but we ended up chatting it up, which I'm glad we did.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, man, thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for chatting about music and coffee with us. And this new band, I know you can't talk a lot about, but is it in the punk genre?
Yes.
Okay. Once you get that up and started, you should send us some stuff and we can review it and play it on the podcast.
Yeah, man. For sure. I'll absolutely do that. I'll keep you posted with all that stuff. Where F.B.S was very Motorhead, exploited GBH, that kind of sound. This band is more melodic, more kind of like Street Dogs, Bouncing Souls.
Oh, cool.
A little more like Oi than
cool.
Like,
I'll dig it.
Charged. So yeah, man, I'll be in touch. I appreciate you having me on, man. This was a blast. It's cool. I mean, you
Awesome.
and I message all the time,
Yeah.
It's good to actually like hear your voice. You know, I've not heard your voice in like 4 years, so it's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
we haven't seen each other in a while.
It's been a while, man. I really miss well, you know, I really miss like pretty much everybody that I would see.
Networking and playing.
It's great, but it's coming back, so I'll be able to hang again. And Mick, it was good to meet you and talk to you guys. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. Very cool.
Awesome.
Hopefully we
brother.
can do it again.
For sure. Yeah,
Definitely.
once you get that project started, I know it'll be a minute. I know how long it takes to do stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a bit.
We'll have you back. We'll talk about it and we'll play it.
Cool.
So maybe sometime in the future here.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Cool, brother. See you.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.
In there with us with this episode yeah episode of Coffee and Hardcore. We made it to another episode, and we hope to make it to another one.
Yeah, hopefully. No, we will. we will. As always, hey, check all the links in the show notes for the band, the coffee, all the stuff going on, and we'll throw in the Skullcrack links and all the bands that we reviewed, as well as the coffee review, all that. They're all going to be in there. You're going to want to click on all of that. And hey, do us a favor, click the follow button on Spotify, like us on the Apple Podcasts, and do the thing that Wiley hates. Leave us a positive review. And more importantly, hey, if you dig the show, share it with your friends.
I agree on that. That's right. We all know your grandma likes coffee and hardcore, so share it with your friends and family.
you know Grandma rocks out to this.
I know
she loves it. She loves
it. Granny loves it.
So, hey, this was the show. We so appreciate everyone that checks us out every week or every month.
Yeah, month.
It could be every week. People could listen to it more than once, you know.
Yeah, you could listen to it in segments because we ramble on for a long time.
True. That's true. But hey, we truly appreciate all your support that you give us. Thanks for checking us out.
That's right. We're out. Drop the battle royale. Ooh.
Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, move it on. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore. Do it right. We got the double, we got the juice, we got the dope, we got the views, we got the gold from you out the border. If you like the back, you better support them. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, move it on. Coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore, coffee and hardcore. Come on, try to ride.
Deal with it, nerds.